Okay, so here we are. We're going to install this Universal Hardware residential door closure. It's for a left or right-handed door. These are the parts and the tools we're going to use. This is the template for, since I'm putting it on a left-handed door, this will be for the left-handed door. So we're going to put that up to the door. So here we've taped it at the top of the door, and you want to mark, the center of where you're going to drill the hole and put your screw in all three of these. So you mark them, and you mark these. Well, we're not going to do those yet because we're going to do a different thing. So here we are now, screwing the screws into the plate. Okay, so here we are now going to mount this. Now you want to make sure that you mount with the adjustment screw towards your door handle, not towards the hinge. See, the other side doesn't have a screw, so we're going to mount this right like that. Okay, so now we have that up. So now what we want to do is mount what's called the P bracket. There's an L bracket and a P bracket. What we're going to do is mount the P bracket up here. So we've taken the L bracket off of this arm. The arm's going to go onto this and then mount back here on the P bracket. And the reason we didn't mark the holes yet is because what I found is a little trick. I like to keep a little tension on this to keep the door closed. See, like I did on this one door over here, if you notice, this is away from the door a little bit. By keeping this part out a little bit more, it keeps tension on the door and it helps to keep the door closed. So I found that to be a trick. So I don't mark the top holes here for the P bracket until I get this mounted, and then I find out where I'm going to need to put this bracket to give it a little bit more tension. Okay, so here we are. We have the bracket mounted here, but if you notice, the door's closed right now. And if you notice, the hole for this bracket is still about a ½ inch away from the P bracket. So what we're going to do is when we pull this out, if you notice, when it's on there, we pull this away from the door a little bit. See, it's on a spring. So you notice how when we pull it away from the door, which you can see right there, I have it away from the door. It's lined up now, so that'll leave tension on. See, now it's springing back. So you can use what I use is a crescent wrench down here on the bottom, and you can hold the spring back a little bit so it'll hold it on the top, and you can bring your bracket away from the door to hook it onto the P bracket. So now what we're going to do is put the screw up in here with the washer to hold the bracket on the P bracket. So here we are, screwing the screw up into the arm. This goes into the P bracket, and then also we put the screw up here, and we're going to screw that down in to hold the arm at the top of the hydraulic. Okay, so now we have it on, and we have all the bolts, the screws tightened. And what you want to do now is set the adjustment screw. Remember, the screw is supposed to be towards the door handle. And when you first put them on, they have it real open, so it slams the door real hard. So if you want to adjust it, what you're going to see is the door closing. See, it closes real hard. So what we're going to do is adjust that screw. So turning clockwise tightens the screw but slows the door. Turn it counterclockwise, speeds the door up. So what we're going to do, we want to slow it down. We're going to turn it clockwise a little bit just to see how it closes now. If you notice, it closed a little bit slower. Okay, so now we have the screw set to where we want it. Another nice feature of this closer is if you open the door all the way to a right angle, it stays. So it won't close. In case you're bringing in groceries, you can keep it open. And all you have to do is pull it towards you a little bit and it'll close. And if you notice, we have it closed a nice closing speed, and it still has tension. If you remember, we pulled this arm out a little bit to keep tension on the door. So it's out about 1 inch from the door. We didn't put the P bracket where the instructions say. We moved it over a little bit to make it tighter. So now the last thing we're going to do is put the cover onto the hydraulic base, just like that. And that's it. That's your door closer installation.